G'day everyone, and welcome to an afternoon of fishing at Lake Buffalo. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now I'm going to keep this intro short. I'll explain more as I'm fishing. But basically the plan is I'm going to wade out there up to my waist in water, cast some soft plastics around and see if I can catch some redfin. Then I'm going to go and cook myself a barbecue tea, and then I'm going to grab some bait rods and go and sit on the bank and bait fish the twilight session. Anyway, I'll go and finish getting organised, then I'll head out into the water. Right, I'm in the water and I'm casting soft plastics for redfin, and I'm starting off with this Strike Tiger mud eye. Now I subscribe to the Goulburn Murray Water website. They send out an email to me every single day telling me the lake levels, and anyone can do that. I think it's gmwater.com.au, maybe just Google Goulburn Murray Water. And what that does, every single day they send me an email and it tells me what the lake levels are. I don't have to go to the website and look it up. Now, Lake Buffalo, it's a 3-phase dam, so they drain it right down for irrigation purposes. And then when we get heaps of rain and the lake starts filling, they fill it up usually to about 60%. And then they hold it at that level until the weather dries off, and then they fill it completely. Now this year they held it at 60%, I noticed, for quite some time. And then it quickly jumped to 80%, and they've been holding it at 80% for about the last 6 to 8 weeks. Now in the last couple of days, it's risen from 80% to 90%, so it's filling up. They've lowered the floodgates and they're going to fill the lake up to 100% so that they can meet the summertime irrigation demands. What that means is that the where I'm standing right now was out of the water just a couple of days ago. So all these shallow flats around me here are going underwater right now. So there should be all kinds of little bugs and stuff getting drowned, and the fish, I'm hoping, will be in the shallows feeding on them, feeding on worms, bugs, mud eyes, anything else that could have been in that grass. So hopefully the fresh water that's just come into the lake will turn the fish on. Got him. That didn't take long. It's not a big fish. In fact, it's very much not a big fish, it's a very small fish. And he just got off anyway. I almost caught me first fish. I was almost on the board. It's amazing to believe that just a few days ago, all these grasses that I'm currently standing in were actually out of the water. That's a touch, got him. Haha. Here's a fork-shaped stick down here where someone's been fishing when the water was lower. Look at the size of that. Oh, he got off as well. I still haven't caught one. I'm still almost on the board. I've had 2 near redfin experiences. Got him. Oh, it might not be a bad one. Certainly bigger than the other 2 that I've hooked. If I get a couple of nice ones, I'm gonna keep them. I don't think this is quite big enough for that though. No. He's actually swallowed it. The other 2 must have just had the tail. This one's swallowed. We haven't swallowed it, but he's got it a fair way down. He's got the whole thing in. He's engulfed it, is probably a better word. Yeah. Look at that. I've got me mud eye back. Nice redfin. Oh, let's get some underwater release. Are you ready? He didn't even take off fast. That's what I'm using. That's a Strike Tiger Mud Eye soft plastic, and that's how I've got it rigged. Just the same way as I would any other kind of soft plastic. Now, they've just released some new colours in the Mud Eye, but I haven't actually got my hands on any of them yet, so I'm using one of the old colours, and this is Copper Berry. What a glorious, glorious day. Absolute stunner. Current temperature is about 25 degrees. Everything is perfect. Got him. No, what happened there? He hit, oh, you have got him. He's swimming towards me. I was thinking, what happened there? He hit it and then it went funny. All right. Come on, mate. A Mud Eye Muncherer. Try and get the camera angle a bit better. Yeah, beauty. Ready? See you later, mate. Well, this is good. I'm very relaxed and I'm enjoying myself. I love this kind of fishing. I love bait fishing too, and I'm really looking forward to drowning some bait at sunset tonight. I've got some worms and some yabbies. I'll put some dry clothes on and I'll just sit in my chair and relax. I'm really looking forward to that. Woo, just fell in a hole. I'm up to my neck. I can barely touch the bottom. Cold shiver. It's nice and refreshing. Just a bit on the deep side. Just a bit of a hole there. Now I'm up the other side. Didn't see that coming. Got him. I felt him tapping at that then. Geez, small. Look at the size of that. Look at the size of this redfin that's grabbed that Mud Eye. It's tiny. Go on. Well, folks, hopefully the image quality isn't too dodgy. I just went to wipe my camera, my lens, and then realised that there's not a single part of my shirt that's dry. As I was walking over here, I went through a bit of a deep hole before, and now everything's wet. So I can't wipe my lens. Well, the fishing's been a little bit slower. I've caught a few. I'm pretty happy with that. I might go and try a different part of the lake, I think. Right, I've moved over just near the boat ramp. Got him. First cast at the new spot. First redfin at the new spot. See you later, mate. I'm just near the main boat ramp here, and there's a fishing boat there that's launching. There's a speedboat out on the water. I'm on the boat ramp, the Lake Buffalo boat ramp. It looks a lot different than when you usually see me fishing here. Usually you can see grass going all the way out there to those trees. We call that the island, and now it actually is an island because all that grass is underwater. And usually I'm fishing about another 30 or 40 metres down there in front of me. Well, I'm changing lures. I'm going to a colour that I've had a lot of success on over the years with redfin. And that's the whitebait pearl, but I'm going to the bug, the 2-inch bug. For those that have never seen or used a Strike Tiger 2-inch bug, it's like a Strike Tiger nymph, but twice the size. Instead of a 1-inch nymph, it's a 2-inch nymph, and it's called a bug. The same thing, but bigger. Let's see if white can lure them out. Got him. It's been a bit slow. It's taken me a while to pick one up. Once again, another little one. Still no size. Any fish is better than no fish, even when they're small. I would like a nice fish to take home for a feed. But But if I don't get one, that's okay. I'm actually just happy to be catching fish, being that it's the time of the year that I don't normally fish Lake Buffalo. I'm not sure where to fish at sunset. Normally I like to fish over there and watch the sunset, but with the lake being up a little bit, it's sort of going to be hard to get to the water. There's a bit of a ledge there with some big rocks, unless I fish off a high bank. I'll have a look around and see what I can find. I reckon I might go back to where I started and have a few more casts there. And then I might go and find some... Oh, look at that. Ha! Can you believe it? Look at the size of the thing. Might have a couple more casts here first. Tiny little redfin. See you later, mate. Well, I've moved back over near where I started. I started just down there near those big Christmas trees. I think I've done better over this side than I did over the other side near the boat ramp. Got him. Still only a little one though. Mate, where are your big brothers and uncles and gone? Where are the big ones? Where are the big ones at? There's one. No, grass. That's a fish. Thought it was a bit of grass. I said, there's one. Nah, grass. Nah, fish. They seem to fight differently when they inhale the lure down deep like that is. Jeez, mate. That lure is way down there. This one's going to go on the water for a sea eagle or a whistling kite or something. This one is a donation to the fish-eating birds. Hopefully the wind can just move that away from me a bit. There's got to be a bigger one here somewhere, surely. Got him, not got him. He hit it again. There's a fish just down there. Got him. Nah, real little one. See you later, mate. Well, I reckon it's time that I went and found somewhere that I can fish at sunset and get organised to cook myself some tea. Well, folks, I've found a spot where I can fish for the sunset bite. I'm just going to have a bit of a flick around for 5 minutes or so, and then I'm going to cook myself some tea, then come down here with my bait rods and get set up. I've never actually fished up here. I've been up here in my kayak, but I've never fished off the bank here. Check this out, a little bit of rump steak. Just rub a little bit of olive oil on, sprinkle some herb and garlic on it. Rub it in a bit. This is how I like to cook rump steak. Flip it over. Same thing, just a little bit of oil, you don't want too much. That's enough. Probably not even half a teaspoon. Rub it in. Bit of herb and garlic. I love the herb and garlic. I put a bit of oil in here. I don't really need to, but I put it there more than anything just to tell me whether the pan is flat. It's like my spirit level. Throw the steak in. Beautiful. Looking good. Now this is a catch and cook. Catch some small redfin in the lake, release the redfin, then cook some steak and some tomatoes, add a bit of sliced baby cucumber, and what a beautiful meal. And what an amazing place to be enjoying it. On the side of a dirt road, you can smell these tall eucalyptus trees, you can just smell the forest. It's just a beautiful time of year, a beautiful time of day. And then when I'm finished eating tea, I will wander down that track and throw a couple of lines in, one with worms and one with yabbies, and see if I can catch a fish. Looking good. I like my steak cooked all the way through. I like it well done. I can eat it when it's quite rare. I don't mind if it's a bit red inside, that doesn't bother me. But where I can, I prefer to have it cooked all the way through and have not much red in it. And that's almost done. And there it is, ready to go on the bank of the lake. Magnificent, a bit of cracked pepper. Time to eat. Now that tea, or dinner, depending where you're from, was just absolutely beautiful. Now it's time to drown some bait. I've got 2 rods with paternoster eggs. This one's going to have some Jan Juck worms on it. And the other one I'm going to put a yabby on. I'm hoping this wind dies down a little bit as it gets later. Oh, I already had a bite on my worms. I haven't even got my yabby rod in. My line just pulled really tight and I had a nibble. I was just about to rig up my yabby rod. I was going to say, now the second rod's rigged and ready. Just going to put the yabby on, but we've got a problem. The yabbies are rather large. I know there's some pretty big redfin in Lake Buffalo, but I don't know whether they're that big or not. That's huge. What I'll have to do is I'll euthanize the yabby, or in other words, I'll kill it till it's dead, and then I'm going to cut the tail into bits and probably get 3 or 4 baits out of that one tail. That's a rather large yabby, isn't it? Right, now there's me bait. You'll see there's quite a chunk of it. Right, now there's a part of the yabby tail. I'll put that on the hook and use that as bait, and I've still got probably 3/4 of the yabby tail left, so I should be able to get 4 decent sized yabby tail baits out of that one yabby. I'll make sure the hook goes through the shell. That'll just help keep it on the hook. Right, yabby tail bait. I can go that way. I'll just check the bait on this other rod because it had a nice bite before. Look, there's a fish on it. It had a nice bite before I rigged the yabby up. It's hooked a bit deep. Well, folks, I'm already on the board for the bait fishing session with a tiny redfin that's hooked quite deep. I'll need to put a fresh worm on there. That redfin has donated his life to the birds of prey. That line wouldn't have been in for probably 2 minutes and I got that bite on the worms before. I'll put a couple of fresh worms on and get my line back in. I think I might change angles so that I can actually see what I'm doing. I might put my chair over there so that I'm looking, because I can look that angle a lot better than I can look that angle straight into the sun. Well, this is better on the eyes. I feel like I'm going to roll into the water though. This is not ideal. I can't see the line on the long rod, the wind. Anyway, it always throws you out. You've just got it in your head what you're going to do. You're going to go to a certain spot and you're going to fish. Then you get there and you can't fish that spot. In this case, it's because the lake's risen and I can't access the water at the spot that I normally fish from the bank. So I thought, I'll know another spot. And I went over there and there's somebody fishing there. So I thought, well, I'll leave them in peace. I'll do the right thing and give them their space and I'll go somewhere else. So I've come up here to a spot that I've never fished before, but I'm all out of sorts. I can't get the angles right. Well, folks, I'm not feeling this spot for a number of reasons. Mostly the wind. The wind's driving me mad and I can't sit behind my rods because I'm looking straight into the sun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pack up and quickly go around to the other side of the lake and fish with the wind behind me. Right, I found a nice calm spot to fish, out of the wind. Will I get my rod holder into the rocks? You've got to... Hang on. That'll do, good enough. I'll put the old yabby tail rig in first. Instead of smashed avo, I've got smashed yabbo. The worm rod can go just out there. This is such a beautiful, relaxing spot to fish. There's no wind, it's calm. I can hear the water going at the bottom of the lake over there. Scenery. I keep hearing splashes over here around these flooded grasses and a bite on this yabby tail. That line absolutely pulled tight then. The bite on the yabby tail, look. I just had a bite on the yabby tail. Just had my first nibble on the worm since I've sat down here. Well, since moving here from that other spot, it's been very peaceful. I'm out of the wind, it's relaxing, but I've only had 2 little nibbles and that was it. It's been very quiet fishing wise. But the sun has set here. It hasn't set on Mount Buffalo. You can still see it's got the last rays of sun shining on it, but you can see the shadow creeping its way. That's the shadow of the horizon creeping its way up Mount Buffalo as the sun sets. So the sun is setting right now. If I'm going to catch a fish in this spot, it's going to be in the next 15 or 20 minutes. This is my favourite time of day for any kind of fishing. Sunset and sunrise. Well, the bait bite has been very slow. I've just had a couple of nibbles, so I've pulled my yabby rod out. I'm down to 1 rod, and I'm just going to cast this plastic around for a bit. See if I can get one on a softie. Got him. Oh, done him. He's back. Got him again. Ha! Can barely get a bite on the bait. Little redfin on old faithful 3-inch striped tiger minnow. Only a small fish. Can barely get a touch on bait. Isn't that amazing? I've had a couple of nibbles on the worm since I got here, and that's it. Had 1 nibble on the yabby tail and 1 on the worms, and that's it. Throw a soft plastic on and bang, straight on. Got him, right in front of me. Another one on the plastic. Ha! I'm just watching this other rod here to see whether it's getting any bites. And so far nothing. No size though. Who knows, I might catch on about £2 on the worms in a minute. And suddenly worms will be the best thing in the world. Well, I've gone to the whitebait pearl bug, which is what I was using earlier, with the claws removed. Let's see if that can entice one out. Couldn't do any worse than the worms, or the yabby tail. I still hear little fish jumping in there. Tiny little redfin moving into the shallows, just chasing whatever's swimming around that grass that's just been freshly or newly submerged. Got him. Well, this might be the biggest fish today. Might have saved me best till last. No, I don't think so. Well, it's given a bit of a pull. I don't think it's big. I think it's just got a lot of energy. Well, no, it's not a big fish, but it's bigger than most of the other ones I've been catching. Well, that's the biggest one today. Hey! That's the fish of the day. Now, if I'd caught that earlier, I would have put it in my esky, but this time of day, I'm not going to worry about it. Now, the fish of the day, I've saved it until late in the day. Awesome. On the whitebait pearl striped tiger bug with the claws removed. Mate, if only had come along a little bit earlier. Oh, go on. Well, lures are absolutely out fishing bait today. I just haven't had a touch on them worms. They've just been sitting there. I think the worms might be getting bored. Just reeled my worms in and they haven't been even touched. There's a few small fish jumping around over here. I assume they're small redfin, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to throw a line in over there and see if I can catch one. If I can get my rod holder into this hard ground. Got him. Oh, look at the size of this. Wow. That is a tiny redfin. Look at the size of that. It's not much bigger than the soft plastic that I caught it on. Took off straight over there. Got him. He's bigger than the last one. Our reddies are still coming in despite the fact it's half dark. That's the second biggest one I've caught tonight. Almost as big as the big one I've got before, but not quite. Probably about 3 or 4 centimetres shorter. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Wah, 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 yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I go alright when I sing until I try to hit the high notes, and that's when I sort of start sounding a bit silly. I'll put links to everything that I used today that I can find online anyway in the video description below. What an awesome afternoon I've had. The fishing wasn't red hot, but I caught a few and I'm quite happy with that. That was enough to keep me interested. A couple of nicer ones near the end, but the bait fishing was almost dead. They were all on soft plastics, except one. Isn't that amazing? Thank you all very much for watching.